So let's hit the X-Men trailer. The new X-Men trailer came out like 3 days ago.
Something like that.
It was during school. I remember that much because I
didn't watch it until today.
I watched it during class.
Looks sexy.
It
Looks
does.
sexy.
Not sexy like Tarzan, but sexy still.
Yeah. Derek, I'm going to let you loose on this one. Run wild. Like
It is spring break.
Yeah. Not for me, unfortunately. I wish I had a spring break, though. I really enjoyed it. I will say I think this movie's kind of got lost in the shuffle with Daredevil coming out, and then you've got Batman v Superman coming out this week, Civil War coming out in May. So there really hasn't been a ton of hype for it, but I'm excited for it. I mean, I enjoy the new cast of X-Men. I think McAvoy is a great Xavier. Michael Fassbender is unbelievable as Magneto. And getting to see, I'm excited to see the young Cyclops, Jean Grey, the formation of what we know as the X-Men. I'm very curious, though, to see what they do after this movie. Because I've heard that this is the last installment with that cast.
Hopefully.
Not a fan?
Oh, no.
What?
Well, go ahead and mute that mic.
He's not Robbie, so I won't mute him. But no, I enjoyed the trailer. I think it'll be a good movie.
I'm just curious how they're going to tie in because obviously the Angel dude is Archangel, and then you have Storm. How are they going to transition from going from that Team Apocalypse to Team X?
Well, it's 20th Century Fox, so they're going to go, we don't give a fuck. Throw their hands up and, put their magic on it, and then it'll be like, it's another time continuation thingamajigger. Just go with it. And people...
Like we do. Like the audience has, for the most part.
Oh, no, I've railed against these movies.
See, we got to get to the voice of dissent in a minute. Can I just take a second to say I thought it was extremely excellent?
That's kind of like me with my Punisher puns.
I gotta find out which one he is. He is number 5.
So I am a long-time X-Men fan. Like, when I collected Marvel comic books, it was Spidey, and it was X-Men, and X-Force, and the New Mutants. Like, I loved all of the X titles. And to me, this is the first one that I feel like is, like, really hitting on all that fan service that made me love the X-Men so much in the first place. They look recognizable. We get to see them kind of become the characters that we knew them and loved them as in the comics. And one of my favorite things about this trailer is seeing how devastating Storm's powers are. Like, they've underplayed her so bad in all of the other X-Men movies, and like, to see the Four Horsemen, it's like, what Magneto brings to it, what Storm brings to it, and the two of them together, they could just level entire cities,
Yeah.
And Psylocke, I mean, she's got those cool knives, so there's that.
And she's very attractive.
I don't know how that's going to help conquer the world. Actually, I do. I totally do. It's actually been used on me several times in my life.
It happens.
Attractive females. But yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was a great trailer. One of the money shots from it to me is when
How you're talking about attractive females, and then you say money.
Switch gears. We've seen Apocalypse smash down Xavier and then grow, and in this trailer we see that one extra shot of him grabbing him and slamming him into the wall, and that was just so epic to me. So I'm excited about it. But Derek, you're right on, man. It's like, is it as big as Civil War? Is it as big as Batman v Superman? No, it's third place. So that's kind of a tough spot to be in.
It is.
Yeah.
Sick. So what's the biggest issues with it?
Where to start?
Like, I know I've never been a huge fan of Fox because they've crapped on plenty of other stuff.
Well, first off, it's always been Wolverine and his ex-buddies, right?
Good point.
And yeah, this movie is definitely focusing on what you would quote-unquote call the actual X-Men team, right? But it's the last installment after how many films? 7? 8? What are we at now?
6. How many of them are failures to you?
From a storytelling point of view, every one of them.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Every single one of them. For somebody who has read the comics, knows the history of the X-Men, none of those movies hold a candle to any of the stories. And this is like the biggest story that the X-Men have.
Absolutely.
It's the most popular, right? Age of Apocalypse. And I think Oscar Isaac is going to just totally own that role. But it's like too little too late for me, right?
Yeah.
You know, you're going to do this epic thing as your last film. Instead, this should have been in the middle. These characters should have been started from that first movie and not, hey, we're going to throw Hugh Jackman out there with his shirt off because people are going to want to see that. Yeah.
Especially Derek.
That's not what got me in the door, just to clarify.
Sure. But, I mean, it's just, I don't know. One of the reasons it's getting lost in the shuffle is because they've spent so much time making these movies that aren't epic that their one epic movie is now, you know, it's getting overshadowed by literally two of the biggest storylines in comic books in the past 20 years. If you wanted to have that movie stand out more, then you should have rebooted the entire series a couple of years ago, right? Instead of most people who are tired of seeing the same characters over and over again. McAvoy and Fassbender are the only draw, besides Oscar Isaac, to this film right now. Because it is attached to the old series.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Mystique has no business being
No.
They could
Jennifer
have omitted her
Lawrence
from the trailer and I would have been all right with
is
that.
a pull. No matter what movie she's in, people will go watch it just because she is in it. And it doesn't matter if it's her smearing poo on a wall.
No, that's true.
You know.
But I mean, she is not bigger than Civil War. She is not
No.
bigger
Oh, yeah.
than Batman versus Superman.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if it was like, there's no one actor, I think, right now on the face of the planet that would pull people into a movie from those two films.
Yeah.
You know, if this was a new series that was predicated on one or two films that had as much pedigree as the Marvel stable, or if it was Batman versus Superman, I mean, it could literally be the worst movie, but everybody's going to go see it because it's Batman versus Superman. It's the first time those characters have been seen on screen together. So
Yeah.
it is going to get lost in the shuffle and get dumped on. And then, I mean, even after that, nobody's going to think about it because there's more things coming out after it. I mean, we have Doctor Strange coming out.
You do have a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out that and most people would take, you know, a higher seat to X-Men. But as for me, I'm excited to see it.
No, it looks
So,
good.
it does look good.
It looks
This
good.
one.
But that's one. Yeah, but see,
Yeah.
you have to say that. This one looks good. Like, Days of Future Past was okay, but...
So that's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, no,
So-
but I mean, it's the best probably out of all of that series, right? Like,
Yeah.
And it wasn't that great of a movie, like strung together and whatnot. It was still Wolverine and his ex-buddies, even though it shouldn't have been.
Well, and it's funny you say that because First Class was the one I fell in love with, and it's the first one that they did without Wolverine. It was the classic Matthew Vaughn kind of throwback to the '60s spy era
Havoc
X-Men
being older
movie.
than Cyclops will forever just make me angry when I think about it.
Yeah,
See,
but
that's all comic book
when
fan
you
stuff.
come-
I don't come with that baggage.
when you come down to it, yeah, there will be parts that aren't exactly like the comic books. You know, that's what you're going to have to accept in this day and age of the comic book movie. They're not going to hone everything, just like Star Wars when they killed the extended universe to make the new Star Wars movies. You can check in that closet in my bedroom. I have over 200 Star Wars books. You don't see me going and murdering J.J. Abrams because they didn't adhere to that.
I'll put it to you like this. It's not just that one instance, right? It's like they took the X-Men series, they put it up on a wall, and they said, what character are we going to put in? Throw a dart at it. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're going to use that storyline with this character during that era. Like, I mean, it's shotgun storytelling. It's not, it wasn't something that they were like, we're going to change a few things to make it more coherent within our universe. That's the MCU. I was totally okay with the fact that they changed Tony Stark to creating Ultron instead of Hank Pym. They hadn't introduced Hank Pym. The X-Men series has always been a mess of storytelling. It just has, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can understand that. And from them going from the old guard to the new guard, I really enjoyed Days of Future Past. I think it's I think it's the best team up movie that has been made so far. Avengers does not even come close to my opinion on that, and I've stated that several times. So I don't want people like, oh, he just said that.
No, he
because-"
didn't.
No, I've said that for years, and y'all
Yeah,
can
he
agree on
has.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well then
And
you've
that's why
sucked for
Robbie
years,
and Derek
dude.
are his only friends.
It is is true.
Kind of going off on the Doctor Strange thing, did you guys hear the latest Doctor Strange news bit?
He's strange.
Well, he is strange. They're saying that they might have the first trailer for Doctor Strange at the end of Civil War,
Nice.
Really?
which I'm excited for because I love Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, I will squee like a schoolgirl.
And I think he's the perfect choice for Doctor Strange.
He
too. He's
is.
got the look
He
for it
is.
and everything.
I was so happy that Joaquin Phoenix was like, no, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, Benedict Cumberbatch. They're like, Benedict Cumberbatch. Yes.
Well, when Phoenix passed over, they're like, yes, we don't have to mess with dubbing stuff again. I watched her, and the whole time I'm like, what is wrong with my TV? What's going on here? But I to go with the thought that you, and yours is a good thought, with it being just kind of there compared to all the other superhero movies here. I'd even say it's in fourth place because it's after Daredevil.
Yeah.
Daredevil's taken.
Really?
Yeah, I would, because Daredevil is become something bigger than everyone expected it to be, because the second season was freaking amazing.
Is it big outside of our space? Like the non-comic book readers and non-comic
yeah.
book fans
Yeah.
watch it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, because
Before Jessica Jones, it was the highest watched show on Netflix.
Oh, wow.
All of Netflix.
That's impressive.
so I think Marvel going to the Netflix space, and Netflix being such a good producer of content from House of Cards and all of this, showing that they have the skill to make these big events happen. I think that Daredevil is much bigger than X-Men. X-Men looks cool when Psylocke comes cutting through the car. I'm just like, yes, thank you. That looked cool, but, it is what it is.
So is this reactionary to the fact that Marvel all but disowned the X-Men? Do you think that they're losing popularity and losing momentum because they're not getting comic books printed anymore?
Well, the X-Men are still getting comics.
They are?
Yeah.
I thought there was a period of time where they
They've cut. Well, what they did was they cut the entire cast of mutants down to like 200 for a while, and then they just kind of shuffled them around throughout stories and whatnot. But you can't shut down one of the
No
most
new
popular
mutants.
series like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Fantastic Four, on the other hand, it was downtrending anyway.
It was dead in the water.
Yeah, it was dead in
Yeah.
the water,
Right.
and Fox literally shoveled dirt onto that grave with the three
The
movies.
movies.
And I can see why that would give people ill feelings towards Fox as a studio, but I'm on the Deadpool high still, so I'm like, show me what you got. I'm
Yeah,
ready to see it. You know what I
we
mean?
even said that-
You haven't seen it?
We even
It's
said
good.
that on the review, that you were on my show, is that no one should give 20th Century Fox any credit for that movie. It should be Ryan
was smaller
Reynolds,
than that.
Paul Wernick, Rhett Reese, and Tim Miller. They are the four people that should get the credit for making that movie, because 20th Century Fox
Sure.
wanted nothing to do with it for, 11 years?
A long
Yeah.
time.
Are they the real Four Horsemen?
But going on what you said, like I have taken Fox and I've put it down in a toilet, and I have crapped on Fox many times on this podcast because of great books that they've tried to turn into movies that they've just kind of left out key items that go into making the next series. So they've always been hit or miss, and a lot of times it has been missed. But there's, as Aladdin once said, a few diamonds in the rough.
Yeah.
So going off of all this X-Men speak that we've been talking about, if they kill it and it goes in the MCU, how do you think that's going to be handled? Do they take what they already have, the cast that they have? Do they recast? Do they bring it in? What do they do with it? Or do they just leave it out in the cold for a while and let it cool off?
I think you do what they did with Spider-Man and you just recast it. I think you have to. Because people are going to still associate it with the Fox movies, and I don't think that Marvel will want that.
Professor X, Vin Diesel.
Oh my God!
That's something I want to see.
You got where's that mute button? Wolverine,
I will be if you
Jeff Goldblum.
Or Danny DeVito, either one.
I would take Danny DeVito.
Which he was actually on the short list to be the first Wolverine.
Because
Yeah.
he's short.